Good evening, guys. How you doing?
Hi, everyone.
Thanks for joining us on another Friday. Hope you're all doing really well. Sorry, we're 3 minutes late. Sorry, we just got lots of prep. That's Damo doing his hair, and I was busy doing my hair, making sure my hair was all nice and
You missed a bit. You got some grace.
Got some. Yeah, I know. Damn it! I've got to get the old paintbrush out, mate, and start painting that stuff. So yeah, guys, hope you're doing well. Hope this week's treated you well. Here I go again, sort of sorting myself out. Sorry, guys, you know what I'm like. Got to get everything ready. Hang on, is that on mute? Yes, it is. Okay, yeah. So I hope you're all doing well. Another Friday. Oh, that. Okay. So there it is. There's the first one. Beautiful. We're off to a good start. Our normal start.
So, like usual, mate, what are you grateful for this week?
What am I grateful for? Mate, I'm grateful for so many things. I'm grateful for my 15-year wedding anniversary. That's one thing I'm grateful for. My beautiful wife is sitting next to me here, and crutches and all, leg up.
Lucky you answered that, otherwise she would have smacked you.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm grateful for. And again, like every week, mate, just grateful for friends, family, and this little army that we're building here. I'm very grateful for that. Grateful for all you people tuning in every single week, and I'm grateful for you guys for doing it, for trying to help yourselves. You know what I mean? This is what this is all about. It's about you guys tuning in here because you guys want to make a difference in your own life and other people's lives. So that's couldn't be any more grateful. I really, really couldn't. So what are you grateful for, big fella?
Okay, so I'm grateful for this week that Liana has got all of her tubes and plugs and everything out, and she's possibly going to special care.
Fantastic. That's awesome. The next step to coming home, mate. Beautiful.
Yeah, mate. So, that's really really a good thing.
So good, mate. So good. We'll just say a few hellos here. We've got Jess Ann. Hello, Jessica. How you doing? Jess is actually sitting in the lobby. She'll be coming on later on tonight. So how you doing, Jess? Are you doing well? What else we got? Joe. Hey, Joe. Oh, his name's Damien with an A, not with an E. With an A. So he doesn't like it when you spell it with an E, so don't spell it with an E.
Hey, Superman.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get you. Hang on, Jace. How you going, champion? Thanks again, mate, for last week. You're a legend, mate. Thank you very much. Hope this week's treated you well, buddy, after last week. You did so well, mate. Proud of you. Well done. Who else we got? Pete. Good evening, Pete. How are you, champion? Thanks for joining.
Ryan, wait to business first, mate. Cheers.
Oh, yeah, of course. What are we doing? Cheers, champion. Cheers, mate. Cheers to everybody, too. Cheers. Friday night. And you're all here instead of watching the footy. How good's that? Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Who wants to watch the footy anyway?
Footy schmooty, mate. Who cares? If the Tigers aren't playing, who cares?
They are, really. But this isn't a footy talk. Tonight we're going to be serious. This is a serious night.
Yeah. Again, we'll say it right now, okay? This is tonight a massive trigger warning for people, okay? So tonight's going to be very hard to digest and hard to listen to, but again, it's something that needs to be talked about more regularly. I'll get into the stats and everything a bit later, but if you watched Wednesday night, you already know the stats. The suicide rate in this country is just way too high, and there is so much help. Again, these numbers are going to be flying across all night, so make sure if you're not catching them, if they're too fast, let me know, and I'll say them verbally. But yeah, they're very important numbers here, guys. So again, tonight, trigger warning from our first guest to our last guest. Okay, so trigger warnings all the way through. So just be warned. I've got my tissues ready to go. So this is going to be something, again, it's going to be tough, but this is something that we all need to talk about. Okay, so, and the more comfortable we feel talking about these sorts of things, the less we can get that rate down. Okay, it's the fact, that's the fact that we can't talk about it. That's the reason why they're so high. So we've got to start learning how to actually talk about these sorts of things. So I'll just quickly, who else have we got on here? Oh, there he is, Superman himself.
Superman himself.
Going to work, mate. Oh, have a good night, champion at work. Don't work too hard, mate. All right.
Catch plenty of sleep.
Burgers
and pay for it.
Hey, Millie Moo. Love you, sweetheart.
Hey, Millie.
Trigger warning. Remember, trigger warning, okay? Hey, Lisa. Thanks for joining. Again, you're a main contributor of tonight, why tonight's happening. So I hope you enjoy tonight. And again, trigger warning. I'm just can't say that enough.
Michael, Peter, boys, how's it all hanging?
Everybody.
Just quickly while we're going through this, I want to say a big thank you to big thanks to Jessica Ann, especially for all the help that she's given us through the week. And
yes.
She's actually copped a little bit of a promotion from me. So seeing as we've got General Boy over there, she's now going to be actually our research and first class secretary. So she's going to be looking out for a lot of the stuff for us. And I must say she's pretty good at it. I've got notes now because of her. So big ups, Jess. Thank you very much.
And again, we've got psychologist Michelle coming on tonight, and that's awesome, Michelle. And listen, I got to thank you so much for coming on tonight, because I didn't realise until this morning that your team's actually playing tonight. So you're making a huge sacrifice tonight. So I thank you so much. Like, that's awesome, and I'm so glad that Greg's going to give you some updates there, because and come on the bunnies. All right, so let's just get into this, because this is going to be, we've got a lot to get through tonight. So we're going to bring on our first guest. Her name's Jessica. She's going to read some beautiful poetry that she's written, but I have to stress again, and she actually asked me to talk about this before she comes on, this is going to be a trigger warning for some people. So yeah, just be aware of that and be ready for it. Again, this is coming straight from her soul, how she feels, or how she felt at the time when she wrote this poetry. So yeah, I can't thank you enough, Jess, for coming on. So Jess, if you're ready, we'll bring you on now. Damo, what I might do, I might drop you off so I can put Jess in the middle. All right, I'll bring you back in a second. All right,
I'll be here.
All right, so guys, without further ado, here's Jessica. Hey, Jess.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. Hang on, I better bring Damo back, otherwise he'll get upset. There he is. There he is. So how you doing, Jess? Thanks so much for coming on tonight. Really appreciate it.
Yes, we really do appreciate it. We really do. So I understand that you've got a little bit of poetry that you want to read for us.
Yeah, so through my experiences, I've done a bit of writing. It may be triggering, as Ryan said, because a lot of it's around mental illness, depression, self-harm, suicide. So just a trigger warning, you can drop out at any time and come back in. But yeah, that's what I'm going to share tonight.
All right, so everyone, you've got your seatbelts on, because it sounds like this is going to be a bit of a ride. And Jess, the floor is yours. Ryan, let's get out of here.
Let's get out. All right, Jess, we'll see you soon.
Yep, it's a bit raw, so get ready for it.
Let's go.
Okay, so I think I'll do the first one, which I wrote, and it's called Depression and my experiences going through depression. Okay. Depression is like an uninvited guest. Depression doesn't need an invitation to make a home out of an unsuspecting host. Depression finds the party without a written invitation or a consensual agreement. Depression jumps over the walls of my mind and makes itself at home. Depression is the person who gets too comfortable and refuses to leave. Depression holds me hostage inside my own body. It refuses to let me leave my bed, demanding I'm too tired to function. Depression drags behind me wherever I go. I can hear the ear-piercing scrape of its ankle weights dragging behind me. Depression takes up more and more room as the days go on, and I'm finding it hard to find things that remind me of me. The isolation is killing me, but depression doesn't like to play well with others. So I'm sorry if depression hangs up on your calls and ignores your messages and tells you that you're better off without me. It's just there's not enough room for anyone else when depression wants to be the center of attention. Depression doesn't like to play by the rules. Depression is unpredictable and stealthy. Depression sneaks up on my happiness, and like a black hole, it is all destruction and no mercy. It takes everything in its path. I watch everything I have ever loved being ripped away from me at a speed I just cannot grasp. Depression is exhausting. Depression knows that if I give in, I am defeated. And then if I fight, I still feel defeated. They tell me to just be happy. But I try to tell them that depression never gets the message. So that's the first one, guys. I have a couple more to do if you guys are happy to hear them. I will read one that might be a bit heavy for some because it is about trauma and abuse. This one's called My Body. Okay. My body is a jail cell and I'm the convicted felon. Housed inside this maximum security hell they said I was supposed to love because there are so many people in this world who have it worse than I do. Forgive me for sometimes wanting to crawl out the depths of this toxic skin, leaving no trace behind other than the remains of this dirty body you told me was worth something. But when I asked him why he hurt me, his reply fell as silent as the reasons that told me I was worth something. Forgive me, but sometimes these walls don't feel like a home, but of the torment he left behind when he came inside uninvited and stripped away the once happy child who never wanted to grow up and cut the parts out of her body that he once inhabited. Forgive me for wanting to sever my insides until the walls are painted with his dirty blood because they told me I wasn't pure anymore. Skin littered with scars from the many times I tried to find the reason why, only to realize that this unworthy body I live in is my home. And I need to rebuild the foundation that he kicked down and broke, but I am not broken. I will rebuild. Like a forest fire, I will come back stronger and fiercer than ever. And you will look back at me one day and say I tried to break her, but she survived. Okay, and the other one I might do is I had a very traumatic experience with police during a mental health crisis. This is a bit, I guess, the way they treated me and my reflection in poetry of my experience. It's called Brutality. They say protect and serve, but I think they just don't quite know how to spell brutality, because when is the last time you felt protected or served some justice rather than the painful thorns of injustice? The only serving they know is platefuls of fresh bruises, swollen wrists, and an arsenal of cutthroat words before the final serving of forced submission. Cuffs so tight you feel the metal burn into your bones, but no amount of begging will make the pain cease. Your cries will fall on deaf ears. The irony of trying to hang yourself to eliminate the pain, only to be fought with more pain, and a reminder of how little your fragile life means in your saviour's hands. Police are not a saviour, just a timely reminder of why the rope was a better last option for pain. an attempt to seize the burning hands who pull me to the ground, only to leave their burning reminder across my neck as they cut the tightened rope and continue to mock the last bit of my dignity. I feel their words flow like a river down my cheeks in the form of tears. Amateur, they say as they critically analyse the rope for any imperfection, any shred of evidence that my rope tying skills are not up to scratch. As if death cares if the measure you use is perfect. Protect and serve disappears the moment you turn up to save a life and are disappointed to see that I'm still alive. Okay, I think that's all I'll share for tonight because I know you guys have a very busy night and I hope that wasn't too triggering. I know, given the content it probably was, but that's some of my experience of mental illness and trauma, police, mental health. Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate it. Yes. I've never shared that before, especially like this. So yeah.
That was beautiful. Yeah. Jessica, thank you so much. That was just beautiful. And you could feel the rawness coming out of you, and you could, being that I know you, I know where that came from. And I know how hard that must have been for you to, I mean, this is a huge audience that we're talking to here. So thank you so much for sharing that and sharing part of yourself. I'm a bit lost for words, to be honest. That was just really powerful stuff, Jess. I think you really should be proud of yourself for getting that out off your chest.
Yeah. Well, thanks for allowing me to come on tonight and share some of that. Like I said, it's not something I think the only people that know that I write is my GP, my psychologist, and my partner. It's not something I've ever really shared before. So thank you for giving me the platform. And maybe in future I can share some more. But yeah, that's just a bit of a taste of some of the things I write.
Jessica, anytime you're ready to come back on and share some more, you just let me know and you're on. Because that was, I mean, all the comments, I don't know if you've been able to see them while you were reading that, but it's just, they're just, when you watch it back, Jess, seriously, there's just been an outpour of, I can't even talk. It was just beautiful stuff, Jess, and I really appreciate you, and thank you so much for coming on tonight.
That's okay. I really appreciate the opportunity and all the lovely comments. It was very hard to share, but I think it's important to get these things out and to, share you and how you feel and, the impacts of trauma, depression and mental illness and things like that.
100%, and that's it. That's what this is all about. It's about being able to be who you are. That's our message that Damien and I try and share every week, is to not hide, to actually come out and show the world who you are and not be afraid, not be embarrassed or not be ashamed or anything like that. When we do hide ourselves away, we sort of deprive the world from something very special. And you certainly have not done that tonight. You have shared yourself with the world tonight, and you've shown the world how beautiful you really are, Jessica. So I thank you so much.
I've just seen my soul. My soul's just been laid out.
I can imagine. I can only imagine, Jess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I know you got to get to bed because you got work tomorrow. So again, Thank you so much for doing that, and I really can't thank you enough, Jess. Thank you so much.
That's all right. Cheers. Take care, guys.
See you, Jess. Thank you. I don't know what to say to that. I know you got to run, but you stumped me, and it's not easy to do. You really did. But all I've got to say is, damn, you got some skills, girl.
Man, damn right, you got some skills, girl.
You know how to put that stuff together well. And I tell you what, you brought a tear to my eye, darling. I have to say you did. Yeah, you're a trooper, and you belong on the front lines in this army. So
thanks, mate.
You truly do. You truly do. You're a top notch, and you're just a warrior. I mean, look, we've got Superman now. We've got Superwoman here. That's it. Always fun. You're on, mate. You're on. You know, like,
Yeah.
fuck. Like, I know it's not even 9 o'clock and you're making me swear already. What the hell's going on?
Gets a bit like that.
It does. It does. And I don't think I could have done something like that. For you to come on here on a platform in front of a bunch of strangers, really, and read out and lay your soul out on the line like you did. I mean, look, it's been said before, and everyone says here, thank you. That's it. You know, I mean, as I said, Lockie may be Superman, but I think you're along the lines of Wonder Woman now. So, yeah, look, yeah, you get the whole bottle. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
We'll let you go, mate. Thank you so much, Jessica.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.
See ya.
Man, dude, like, we're going to have a Marvel roster by the end of this.
We are. We certainly are.
Like, shit.
That was full on.
That was, you know what? I think, man, she needs to write a book. That's it. Straight out. She just needs to write a book and just put it all in there, help some young girls, help some young people. I mean, I think she'd be able to identify with some young women more than she would be with the young fellas. But seriously, that was fuck.
I know she's got more too. So, you know, hopefully in the future when she's ready, only when she's ready to share that, because like she said, she's never shared anything like that with anyone before except her GP. So, you know, that was massive for Jessica. And Jess, thank you so much again for sharing yourself like that. I mean, that was tough.
Laying it all out, mate. It's insane. So, all right. Well, that's one Jess that's down. I mean, not down. Maybe I shouldn't use that word, but that's one guest that's been here. All right. So now we've got another Jess who's going to come on and say hello. Jess, you ready?
We'll wait. We'll get her to, if she's happy, send us a message, Jess, because your video's off in the lobby there. If you're ready to go, just send us a message and say, yeah, I'm ready to go. If not, we can come back to you later, Jess. It's up to you.
Yeah,
okay, no pressure. Just let us know. Not yet?
Okay.
No worries. All right, cool. All right, all good.
So then our other super special, amazing guest is Michelle. You there, Michelle?
Hi.
How are you? Hang on. I don't like this setup. No, hang on. Go for
social distancing, Ryan. Social distancing.
Yeah, hang on.
What happened?
There we go.
There we go.
How you doing, Michelle? Michelle, how are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me again.
Thanks for coming on. You're the beauty and the beast.
The masses were crying for
I don't talk me up too much, will you?
you don't let your tickets blow off.
Yeah, not good.
So you got any?
How are you? How are you both? Okay? All been okay?
Yeah, I've been good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I gather that you've been watching the videos and you heard about Liana.
Yes, yeah. I have been watching.
They might become dad now. So
very good.
Recently, so that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
so
the one of my life at the moment.
So good. Beautiful.
Crazy. So tell me, what did you think about that poetry?
Oh, it was so good. I don't even know Jess, and I felt proud of her. So, because I know that that's really hard to do. You know, I work with a lot of people who've gone through some pretty serious trauma, and just really proud of her for being able to do something like that. Good on her. Really good. And very moving. It was a little emotional. I'm glad that you had me in the background.
Yeah, I'm glad we were off camera too. So yeah,
what's been happening in your world, darling?
Oh, me? Oh,
I'm not talking to Ryan.
You guys speak enough, don't you? I've been really busy actually. The last couple of weeks has been really, really busy. But I'm feeling good now because it's Friday. I've got a gin because I deserve one. I just finished a 30-page report today, which had taken me 3 days. So I am feeling relieved now.
Damn, 30 pages.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yes, 30 pages. It was going to court. It was going to court. So I had to be really, detailed. Yeah.
And I complain about a 1,700-word essay. I'll just shut up.
Oh, yeah, I know. You wait till the reports come in. Yeah, 1,700 words. That would be heaven.
Wait for them. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, I know, and really good work with putting up that trigger warning and just making sure everyone heard that because it's pretty serious tonight. The topic, but we did touch on it the last time I was on when we were talking about how to have a conversation, and I think people were quite receptive to it. And I think a lot of the time, the reason why people avoid talking about it is because they're scared. Not if we talk about it or we're really overt about it with other people, then what happens if something happens?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But it's so important that we talk out in the open about this because the reality is it's prevalent in society and in Australia. It's actually more prevalent if you are living in a rural area. So it's even worse out in isolated rural populations. So really important that we do talk about it.
Sorry, I'll get the ball rolling with a few things.
Yeah, please. Thanks.
So, because I saw you staggering a little bit there, so I thought I'd come to your rescue. Thanks to our amazing receptionist, Jessica, I found out, right? So 55% of suicides or self-harms are between the ages of 15 to 44. That's 55%.
It's the leading cause of death in Australians aged between 15 and 44 is suicide.
That is just and then the other 45% are from 45 and onwards. Like that's insane.
Yeah, it's not good. It's really high. And actually, I think these stats are quite conservative too. I used to be a research assistant on the WA, when I lived in Perth, the WA Suicide Prevention Project. And the research there was saying very similar figures, but they were saying that they think actually it's probably higher than that. It's just that there are deaths that they can't categorize appropriately because they're really not sure. So it's likely that it's actually higher than that.
It has to be. Like you say, I mean, they can't pinpoint every single one of them, but I mean, eight people a day is what is what the stats say. 2 women, 6 men, every single day in this country.
Yeah.
And it's just mind blowing that those people. I mean, you got to get your head around it. 8 people every single day. You know what I mean? And that's for every death by suicide, it's estimated that as many as 30 people attempt to end their lives. So if one person actually does it, another 30 attempt to do it.
Yeah.
And that's that. I've got my stats here. That's approximately 65,300 suicide attempts per year.
Yeah, that's huge. That's a massive number, isn't it?
It's just, it makes you sort of think, what are we doing wrong? What's society doing wrong that many people just
feel that's their only choice? Yeah.
This is it. This is I've got no other choice. The world will be a better place without me. I need to go. It's just it makes me so sad. I mean, as I've said on this show many times, I've lost family members, I've lost friends to suicide, and it just leaves you with that question: why? Why So it leaves you with so many questions, you know. Could I have done more, or could anyone have done more? You know, could them themselves have done more to seek help?
I think, and that's actually a really important point, because I think what it really does highlight is this very very low rate of help-seeking behaviour. So this reluctancy to seek help. So and we know why. You know, we've spoken about that before. You guys have spoken about that many times before. You know, we know that there's a stigma. There could be cultural issues. And I mentioned before, you know, the rates are much higher in rural populations because, you know, everyone knows each other. There's fear of, well, if I say I'm not coping, everyone's going to know my business. So, and that's a big reason why the rates are so high, because people are reluctant to reach out and ask for help, which really means that we need to get better at asking, are you okay? And having a conversation with people. And knowing that it may not prevent, but if we know that people are reluctant to put their hand up and ask for help, then we need to probably get a little bit better at approaching someone when we notice those early warning signs that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago and say, hey, is everything okay?
100%. You know, again, it falls back on everybody, this sort of stuff. You know what I mean? It falls back on, you know, not only the person, but all the people around them, you know, to sort of, and like you say, so many people are scared to ask these questions, but, you know, like, I don't want to, you know, what if I talk about it? Yeah. What if I make it worse? What if I talk about it and I actually put the idea in their head? You know what I mean?
Well,
Amelia, when did this happen?
Another one I've got here. 3/4 of all men refuse to seek help out of fear of, I guess, out of someone, them being picked on, or I can't think of the word at the moment, but out of fear of someone not helping them or being rejected or shunned. Or 3/4 of all men. That's worldwide.
And historically too, right? Men are brought up, historically, it's starting to change, but men are brought up to be told that you're not a man, you're not masculine if you cry. You're weak if you show emotion. And again, I think this is starting to change, but, you know, culture is embedded for many, many, many years, and it takes a really long time to change that. And that's a big reason why you'll see the stats with men are so much higher, because they're so much more reluctant to speak about their emotions. You know, part of it is the way men have been brought up over the years. Part of it is this perception that they are not, you know, they're not strong, they're not masculine if they are, you know, depressed or anxious. So, yeah, and that's something that's where we've got to start as well. You know, we've got to really get there early, and change that.
Definitely, we definitely do. And one that scared me the most, truthfully, and that's just from living in this country, is that Aussie men are 3 times higher to commit the acts rather than Aussie women. And I think it's because women have got that circle where they can talk to each other openly and freely, where the Aussie bloke won't step up and won't talk and won't say, hey, I've got a problem, and won't let it out. And in the end, your pressure valve just is going to lose it.
Yeah, that's it.
It pushes you into that position where you feel backed into a corner, tied up and gagged, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's the way people feel. And when you get to that point, what do you do? Like, I mean, some people, they think, as Ryan has said many a times, not many of them want to die, but a lot of them
and
don't
that's
have
why
enough
it's really important. That's why it's really important to be really overt about it, because you'll be surprised when you ask the question. And I'm very matter of fact about it. I guess I have to be. It's my profession. Yep, but even out of my profession, even when I'll do mental health training for corporations, and I will recommend the same thing. When you're having a conversation with someone, obviously privately and confidentially, you need to be able to overtly say, when you say this, do you mean suicide? And you need to use the word suicide, because it shows them that it clears up any confusion, just in case that's not what they meant. But at least you checked.
Yeah.
But also too, what it does is it allows them to know, hey, I've got an outlet here. Someone is willing to hear this. And actually those that are on the edge, those who are actually contemplating it, are really willing to go, yes, it's almost like a relief. This person is asking me, I can tell this person, I can let this out.
Yeah.
You know? If we dance around it, they're going to be really unsure as to whether they can talk about it.
And that's what we need to get around. I mean, no one likes saying the word suicide. I mean, it's one of those words right up there with just those words that no one likes to say.
Scary. They're scary. They're scary words. That's
it is a scary word, you know, and things like this, like as I said, Jess helped us out with a bit of information, and I read through it. And I was sitting there next to my wife, and I had to stop halfway through to have a look at her because I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
this is crazy.
Wow, this is insane. Like, and by insane, I mean, it's just crazy how many people are out there doing it. Like, I mean, I remember a little bit of a tangent, shall we say. I was in hospital for a personal issue, and this girl, she would have been 15 at max, and she came in and she had bandages this far down her wrists, but she was high as hell off something, and she was openly saying, I tried, I just couldn't do it. I tried. And to watch her mother sit there and kind of belittle her in front of the entire emergency room was, in my mind, I thought to myself, hold on, you're not helping the situation here. This is your daughter. You can see it. Like, you're sitting here belittling her and berating her in front of everybody because she just attempted to take a life. I don't think
it's also a fear reaction though from mum too. Yeah, when people are fearful, it comes out in ways that are not always appropriate. But you know that would be a very typical fear response, because you know the reality is she almost took her own life. So
it's strange how the human mind tries to deal with catastrophe. Hey, it's insane. But I mean, I don't know. There's just so much of it around, and there's so much depression, and there's so many people self-hating, and there's so many people self-harming, and it's just rampant.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, and sadly enough, there's a lot of people who play it off as a joke or play it off as something that's not serious. And it is actually.
Attention seeking.
Yeah.
Or something, you know. What I wanted to do was sort of help all these people out here now, because I mean it is so hard to know. That's half the reason. I had no idea. So what I've got here, I did my research today, went on to Beyond Blue on their website today, and suicidal warning signs, things that we can all start to look for.
Those early warning signs.
Early warning signs. So we've got here we'll start off with the non-verbal indicators. Okay, so those ones where we won't speak, but you can actually see that people give off without actually having to say anything, that we can sort of all start to just sort of pay attention to, you know what I mean? Hang on, we've got a really good question here. I'll get you guys to read this one.
And that's Lisa, that's an unfortunate reality when you're in that situation, and it's you know, we call your children protective factors, but, you know, unless you've got the appropriate support and unless you've got the tools to be able to reach out and get the support that you need, then, you know, you can't always be protected by those protective factors, unfortunately. And I'm really sorry to hear that. And I hope that you're not feeling like that anymore, because it's a horrible way to feel.
It is a horrible.
Lisa, look, darling, I don't know you apart from this page, and I can honestly say, I know you can't explain it. You think people would be better without you, but no one would be, honestly. I think you felt like that because, as I said, you were backed into a corner and you had no escape, nowhere to get away. But no, you can't think like that. No one would be better off without anybody. I mean, if I wasn't here, then where would Michelle and Ryan be? You know, where would my wife be? Where would anybody be? That I know that I've impacted some people's life rather severely, and in a good way, I mean. And I think to myself, if I wasn't here to help them out when they needed it, where would they be at this stage? So everyone's got something to offer. We were all put on this earth to do something and to help, to be with someone or help someone, or we all have a plan. God has put a plan in front of us, a pathway in front of us, and we're all here for a reason. And unfortunately, it's a bit of a shit show to get to that reason, but we all have our reasons. We all have our purpose, and you have to make sure. Sometimes it's hard to realize that purpose. In my head, I know where I'm going with this, but I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say to you. Like, you can't think that way. I know it's hard, and it's easy for me to sit here and say you can't think that way because I've thought that way myself. But you're here for a reason, darling. And we look, I don't know you, darling, but I love you. Like, we sit here and talk every Friday night, and I just want to pour it out to make sure that everyone knows, all of the people on our page, everybody that gives us support, Michelle, Ryan, like all of you, the love is here for you. If you ever need anything at all, no matter what, you want to meet up for a coffee, let's go. Let's do it. I don't care. We'll do something. But if you're ever in a bad position where you need some help, you know how to get in contact with us, and I'll help you no matter what. I'll take the day off work. We'll go play hooky for the afternoon. Let's go do something. I mean, and I hate to see people like that. And it's usually the best and brightest of us that feel that way. It really hits home. It actually does.
It's hard. But there is help. There is people there that want to be there for you, and there is no judgment. And I think that's the bit that we don't realise a lot of the time, especially when we're in that place, is that actually there's many people that have been through this and have been in the same situation. Look, it's never the same. I would say that, your issues everyone's issues are independent. They're never the same as anyone else's. But many of us have been in a place where we have felt that way. So there is no judgment from the people around you that are actually wanting to be there for you and help you. Difficult, I know, when you're in that frame of mind, though, to actually realise that and process that. And again, a big reason why people, we need to become better, the ones that are coping and doing really well, to become better at reaching out and saying, hey, are you okay? Because you know how hard it is to reach out when you're in that frame of mind.
But see, being in that frame of mind, you don't really know that it's all right to reach out. That's right. Yeah. So we have to become better at reaching out for them. Yeah.
All right, so we'll get to some of these warning signs, these suicidal warning signs for people to start looking out for. Okay. So again, the non-verbal indicators that we can all start looking out for starts with social withdrawal. So withdrawing from social events and just being social in general. A persistent drop in mood. It's always telltale sign. Disinterest in maintaining personal hygiene or appearance. So people are basically, you can sort of tell that I've just given up. What's the point? What's the point of even trying? Uncharacteristically reckless behaviour. Poor diet changes, rapid weight changes. Being distracted. Anger. Insomnia. Alcohol or drug abuse. In there. Giving away sentimental or expensive possessions. That's another telltale sign. Now, they're the non-verbal indicators that we can all sort of start to, just start to look for in people. If you're sort of starting to think, there's something, I feel something's not right with old Joe over there or someone, just start to look for those sorts of things. And, and if you feel confident, and you should, start having those conversations, start asking. And again, Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you do feel as though someone is suicidal, by asking them, you're not really putting the idea in their head, because it might already be there. It's not like, I better not say anything because I don't want them to go, oh, you know what? Yeah, actually, yeah, I might do that.
Your words are not, well, those words, if you're approaching this conversation with care and with the motivation to help and support, then absolutely not. No. If you use that word to bully and harass, absolutely. So there's a big difference between using those words in different contexts and the impact that's going to have on that individual. So if you're using that word in a supportive, because you're trying to be supportive, then what you're doing is you're giving them permission to talk about it, which is something that they can't do.
That's it. Yeah. And again, like it's that people nobody wants to die. It's just they want the pain to stop. And even by giving them a platform to actually speak to you about it, will relieve that pressure off their chest. Because again, they don't, everyone's aware that, we don't want everyone to solve our problems. We just want someone to listen. Someone
and that's the main thing. That's the main thing. Yeah. Can I share? I think I can share my screen. I wanted to show you something because I found it today. And I think a couple of weeks ago I had tried to, I know that Ryan was still going through the...
No, please do. Please. And look, if it's not big enough, we'll drop out so you can share the whole screen. So
Hold on. Let me just see what I'm doing here.
I've actually tried to share stuff, but I was too scared that I was going to just lose everything. So.
Hold on one sec. I think that it's just asking me to open up my system preferences, and the computer is a little bit slow. So keep going while I try and find this.
All right. So we'll do some non-direct verbal expressions. All right, that may that people sort of give off. Hopelessness. You can sort of see in people that they're just they've just completely given up on life, and the things that brought them joy in the past no longer bring them that joy. Failing to see a future for themselves. That's a huge one. And this is another massive one. Believing that they are burdens to others. That's coming back to that. I'm not going to. What's the point of talk? If I speak, I'm just going to make the other person feel bad. So I'll just hold it in. You know what I mean? And again, I think that comes back to us as listeners to sort of try and break through that barrier, because a lot of people the people that do contemplate suicide have always got those barriers up, and they don't want it. I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to share my problems because what's the point of it? Saying that they feel worthless and alone. That's another one. We've lost her out. She'll come back in a second. She'll come back. And here's another one, talking about their death. Here she comes. Put her back in.
Sorry.
Issues.
It's being really annoying, my computer.
That's all right. Yeah, again, talking about their death and wanting to die. That's a clear one. So,
Yes, yeah. And I think we spoke about that a couple of weeks ago too, was that hook, grab that hook.
Yep.
It might not be overt. It might not be, hey, I want to suicide. It might be, I don't want to be here anymore. Or I just want to disappear.
Yep.
Yeah. They're little hooks that really need to be grabbed, and then being really clear and going, hey, is this what you're thinking about?
Yeah.
100%. And what else have we got here? We've got here another one: reasons for suicidal feelings. Okay, so risk factors, sometimes called vulnerability factors. These factors increase the likelihood of suicidal behaviour. Risk factors include previous suicide attempts, history of substance abuse, history of mental health conditions, i.e. depression, anxiety, bipolar, PTSD, relationship problems, conflict with parents or romantic partners. They're all sort of triggers, and they can bring up these sorts of feelings of worthlessness and, this isn't working. What's the point of me being here? There's no point in me being here. Legal and I can't even say that word. I hate that word. Legal problems. What is that word? Say that word. I'm so disciplinary.
That's a
disciplinary. That word. Access to harmful means such as medications or weapons. A recent death or suicide of a family member or a close friend can sort of be another trigger for people. Ongoing exposure to bullying behaviour. And again, we've spoken about this bullying, what bullying can do to people, and constant bullying every day. And the last one is physical illness or disability. So,
Again, it's one of those things that we want to sit and talk about, but I mean, a lot of it is very cut and dry, I believe, because you see people go through these things and you see people suffer in these ways, and you want to talk to them about it, and you want to try and help, and you be there for them, you listen to them, you listen out for the hooks and the triggers and the responses and everything like that. But sometimes in the end, you can only do so much. I mean, I shared a couple of weeks ago with you guys about, hey, she worked it out. I shared a couple of weeks ago with you guys about my mate who suicided over a girl that he was going out with, who left him for another bloke, and there was no sign whatsoever at all. No sign.
And you're not always going to see. You're not always going to see it. You're not. No. And even those symptoms and those early warning signs that Ryan just read out, some people don't have them. They're very, very good at masking them because they don't want people. Well, they won't want people to know because they feel ashamed, or it's maybe a situation that they've been in for so long that they've made up their minds. This is the only way for me. I've struggled for too long.
Do you want to talk us through this shared page you got here?
Yeah, so this I really like. So when I do a lot of mental health training on how to have a conversation, that are you okay conversation, this is the one slide that I find has the most impact, because the main reason why people are scared to have a conversation, scared to use the word suicide, scared to sometimes even ask if people are okay because they're worried it might turn into a conversation about suicide, is because they're really unclear about what their role is and what it isn't. And we touched on this a few weeks ago when I came on and had a chat with you, but I found it in writing, and it's just, I find it significantly alleviates people's fear about these conversations. Just so we're really, really clear, they're in two very clear columns: what your role is when you're having a conversation with someone about how they are, and what your role isn't. I like to start with what it isn't. It's not your role to fix the issue. Now, people, especially empathetic, sympathetic people, individuals, feel that is their role, that I have to fix this for them. It's not our role to fix anything for anyone. We can't do that. And it's placing a lot of pressure on our own shoulders to be responsible for something that we probably don't know much about. So it's not our role to fix. It's not our role to diagnose, because it's not our job unless you're a professional. And even myself, when I'm having an "Are you okay?" conversation with a friend, I'm not sitting there, despite what a lot of you may think, psychoanalyzing my friends and diagnosing them in my head. Okay, so, that's not our role, not our job. Not our job to provide counselling, because, your role is to be their friend. And for some of us, it is a skill and it is a qualification, but for a lot of us, it's not. So it's not our role to provide counselling when we're having those conversations. It's not our role to problem solve personal issues, because what happens when you do that is you disempower that person.
Yep.
You make them feel even more helpless, because they feel like you're saying to them, by solving their problems, you can't do this.
Yep.
So I'll do it for you.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not our role to become too involved. And this is a big one. I get called out at least once a week to organisations to sit there and coach staff because someone has had a mental health episode, or they have attempted suicide, and a colleague has gotten so involved that they're spending their weekends, they can't sleep, they're speaking to their colleague for hours on end, after hours. This is becoming too involved, and this is then impacting them. That's not their role. Yeah. It is not our role to avoid a potential mental health issue. You can't do that. Even I can't do that, and I'm a psychologist. You can't do that. It's not our role to pass judgment or make comment. This is a good one. When I do mental health training, I ask people, tell me what are the things that you shouldn't say when someone is speaking to you about their mental health. And you get the obvious ones. You get the, "I'll just get over it." Or, "Oh, yeah, that happened to me," and then go on and on and on about yourself. What's another one? You're just acting like, I saw Amanda's horrible story. You're just acting like a child. Stop acting immaturely. Stop being a pain. Stop attention seeking, whatever it is. Not our role to disclose any issues beyond relevant parties. That's so important. People are scared, and so they're opening up to you. They're going to want to know that they can trust you. Yeah. Not your role to make contact, and this is you can see that this is workplace relevant, but this might help people in the workplace as well. Not involved, not your role to contact employees, family members, and also not your role to minimise or make light of someone's concerns. Yeah, I think if we really pay attention to this and really memorise this stuff, then having the conversation becomes so much easier. 100%. So early identification is our role. So Ryan, your symptoms that you just spoke about, that is our role, to see, to notice those.
Yep.
You don't have to analyse everyone's behaviour all the time, but that's our role.
Yep.
It is our role to initiate an informal discussion with that person, to take action, manage presenting work issues. This is work related. Listen to but refer on for personal issues. So this is where we go, okay, we're going to listen, but because it's not our job to problem solve or fix, I'm going to give them the number for XYZ, which is exactly what you're doing now, every week, Ryan. It is your role to provide an appropriate referral, obtain internal, external assistance if required, provide support, monitor and follow up, and remain objective and impartial. Yeah. So this might help people have that conversation. It just it makes it very clear about what your purpose of that is. Yeah.
I love it. That's
there you go.
such an insight. Thank you so much, Michelle. That's awesome.
Stop
That's so
sharing
good.
that screen. Hold on. Yep.
That's so good. Come back to this one. Yeah, so actually, Damo, hang on.
You and your ACD. Seriously.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That was so good. That was really. I hope you guys all paid attention to that sort of stuff. So the things that we can and we can't do, so we shouldn't do. So thank you so much.
Horrible. I'm really sorry to read that as well. How long ago did that happen? Because I would like to think that they've got better training.
I've heard so many stories like this, especially even in the last couple of weeks.
It is unfortunate.
It's just,
Look, I promise, and I think I made a reply to Amanda in a comment. They're not all like that.
No.
But I also sadly hear a lot of those stories.
Yeah.
Look, it's not faultless, and far too many people fall through the cracks when it comes to our mental health system. And I agree that we need to really overhaul our mental health at the system and in the way we manage our people's mental health. But it takes money. It's a very political issue.
Very, very political issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know where to go from here. I've got so much information here, but I just don't know where to go with it. So I mean,
keep going.
I've got conversation starters. How to get the conversation starters. Get the conversation started. I just don't know whether this one is for the person or for the people speaking, but having a conversation having a conversation with someone you're worried about. Okay, so we've got some conversation starters here, how to actually engage them and how to start it, because again, there's so many people like Anne-Marie, you've said, well, even the thought of suicide, when I think about suicide, I freeze. But again, just that little conversation, these conversation starters you don't know what it could do. It could save someone's life. You know what I mean? So I think it's very important for us to know these. Yeah.
Sorry, if you have a look in the comment, Jessica Ann, I think she might be ready to actually share some of her story, mate. So while she's ready to go, I think we should jump on that opportunity.
Yeah.
All right, no worries. I'll bring that. Jess, you ready to go? Give us a wave, Jess, if you're ready to go. She's ready to go. All right, guys, here comes Jessica.
Hey everyone.
Jess. How are you?
Hey. Hi. Not too bad. Struggling still, but okay.
Did you want to share something with us? A little story?
Just reading some people's comments, I can relate to a fair bit of that. Myself, I've been going through, diagnosed with depression and anxiety when I was 16. And I remember going to my mum asking if I can go see a counsellor, if I could just go talk to someone. And she refused because she didn't believe in it. Unfortunately, her mother committed suicide. But that was way before I was even born. And ever since that, she just doesn't believe in it. So I found it very, very hard to talk to anybody. And still to this day, I do. And right now I'm like freaking out just talking here because I'm saying these words out loud. It's like,
come on, you got this. You got this. Yeah. We've been speaking all week. We've been talking all week about this.
Yeah. I know.
You know I believe in you. You know you've got our support 100%. And look, the three of us aren't going anywhere. You tell your story and we'll be here for you, all right?
Thank you. Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's pretty full on, right? The impact that
it is,
it has on you, So it's a very real situation. But I'm also very proud of you, and I don't even know who you are.
You're okay,
saying this out loud.
But yeah, it's like it even came to like being put on medication. I absolutely refused to go on it. I didn't want to do it. And I'm glad to this day I am on it now. But it's like I had some counsellors try and force it on me, saying it will fix you, you'll feel better. It's like, no, it won't. Just like at the time, I was self-harming and all that, and I lost all my friends, and no one wanted to know me. They said it was just all for attention. But for me, I know I can't say words. I can't express how I feel. And that is my hardest thing, is like, they'll ask me, are you okay? It's like, yeah, I'm fine, because I don't know what to tell them. It's like, I don't want to worry.
How old were you at this time, Jessica?
It all started 16 and I'm 30 now.
Yeah.
So 14 years.
Yeah.
So, but
and it's hard even at 16, right? Because you've got people, you're young, right? And then you've got people around you, your friends around you that also aren't very mature and don't really understand that, and more likely going to say horrible things like, oh, you're just doing this for attention, because they don't really understand it.
Yeah, I remember.
So even, less.
Yeah. It's like one of my favorite teachers, she ended up being the deputy of the school. She actually threatened to suspend me because they were that worried about me. So at the time, I was like, I just wanted the pain to end. I couldn't explain how I felt, and the only way I could get any comfort was literally self-harming. It was a way of letting those feelings out that I couldn't describe. I didn't understand, and I still want to go back to that method. But it's been just over a year now since the last time I self-harmed. And the only reason I stopped is because it was the most calm I had ever felt in my life. And that scared the shit out of me. That scared the shit out of me, because I knew that was the closest I had ever gotten to ending it. And in that point of time, I wanted to. I couldn't deal with life anymore.
What stopped you?
I don't know. I was living with my friends, and the fact that we've got 4 foster kids here now, and they were around is like, I couldn't do it to them. Yeah. So, and I still can't get over that feeling of how calm I felt. It was just, I felt at peace for the first time in my life. And that scared the shit out of me. Yeah. Because I knew what that meant. Yeah. So, but still here today. Just started a new medication today, so I'm a bit off today. Yeah. So, yeah. But
you're doing very well, Holly. You're doing very well.
So well.
Thank you. Like, there is so much to my story, but it's like, that's the main like, just knowing that others did feel like me. And no, I don't ever wish this upon anyone, but it makes you feel less alone.
Oh, really absolutely. Does. Yeah.
And I'm glad I joined these guys last week. And it's like, no, this is something I'm going to get on board with and help as much as I can. And yeah, for everybody.
Well, you are our personal assistant at the moment. You're doing a fantastic job. And I actually look forward to our conversations every day. Because, as you said, it makes you feel not so alone. I mean, I honestly think that I'm blessed. I must be. The big man upstairs is watching me, because I've got people like you, like Ryan, like Michelle, like everybody else around here that I know that if I'm having a shit day, I can put it up on our Facebook Army page and be like, hey, guys, look, I feel like shit. I really need someone to talk to. And I know my phone is going to go off the hook because I've got my army behind me, and we walk together as one.
If you saw yesterday how towards the end of the day, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, guys, I don't want to be bugging you too much. I was like, I'm sorry, I'll stop talking now. I was starting to get to that point.
No, mate, no. Like, and you would have seen our comments too, saying, "Hey, listen, you're not burdening us. We want to talk to you." tell us what's going on. Let's get through this. And while you're at it, pass me some information. I need something for Friday night to talk about.
That's it. That's it.
And you're saying that talking is helping you, but you are helping a lot of people.
Oh, big time, mate.
As well.
Big time.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. I've noticed, even coming on and, when I started this thing, it was just me talking by myself, it was helping me. It was like my own little therapy session to a video camera. It was sort of like a virtual journal, basically. Instead of writing it down, I was verbally saying it, and I had no idea that it was actually going to help other people. I was hoping, but at the end of the day, it was basic. When I first started this, it was for me to be able to get things off my chest. And the fact now that people like you, Jess, have finding solace in this, it's making it all worth it. And I'm so proud of what we're doing here. And I'm proud of people like you for being able to, again, 6-10 weeks ago, you wouldn't have had the strength to do this. You know what I mean?
Absolutely not. If it wasn't for the COVID-19 and having to do the classes online through tape, it's like, there is no way I'd be sitting here right now doing this.
Well,
no way in the world.
You are here with us. And look, Ryan, I'm going to take a little quote that you gave me the during the week sometime. I can't remember when exactly. But you said to me, apart from your wife and your kids, this is the best thing that you've ever done. And to me, that is just absolutely, we're past 9 o'clock, so we're good. It's fucking phenomenal. It is just phenomenal, mate. And I stroke your pride every week because we need to know that we find solace in our general. And as I said, mate, you're the one who leads us through this journey, and we march together as one. That's why I started the whole Talkhead Army movement, because this is getting big, mate. And we are helping people like Jess, like Lisa, like Anne-Marie, like Superman. I can't even talk about that kid without getting into it, but just there's so much that this is helping people. And we spoke about it tonight before we came on. Me and Ryan talked before anybody else. And we said we were both feeling a bit of fear coming on and talking about this. We were like, this is going to be big time. This is going to be big. And Ryan said to me, you know what? Tonight we might save a life.
Yeah.
We actually might just save a life tonight. And you know what? Everybody that's on here is now more aware and more tuned and more prepared to go into battle and fight for people that they care about. Because that's what we're here to do. And if Jess is the person that we can help, so be it. She's the person that we're going to help tonight. And anybody else that we're helping, this is a great and wonderful, wonderful thing that we're doing. So just let's all take a minute to thank Ryan for everything that he's doing for us. And shush.
I salute you.
Just take it.
Right. And as MJ just put up there, smash the stigma. That's another one. That's going to be the next hashtag for this group. Seriously, smash the stigma. Because no one wants you to feel like this. Yeah. No, we're sitting here talking about this, getting it out there, and making it relevant to talk about. It's just this is great. So you know what? I think, see your mum's on there. Cheers. So sorry, Jess, go for it. Anything else that you would like to share?
I'm good for right now, thanks.
No worries.
I'll definitely be joining you guys more often, I think.
That'd be good.
Awesome, Jess. We'll have you anytime you want to come on, mate. Any single time, okay? And again, it's just that. Just being able to provide this space for you and people like you to know that you're not alone. These feelings that you have are yours and they're very valid, but you're not alone. We're creating this army here of people that share the same feelings as you. And before this, yes, there were other platforms for them to feel this, but we've we've all come together to have this safe space for each other to express how we feel, and without judgment. Keep saying that every week. There is no judgment here, absolutely none. And I think that's what we need, especially when it comes to things like suicide. We need this place. Like, I didn't realise how much when I first started this, how much this was going to be needed. I just thought it was just going to be a bit of fun Friday nights, saving a bit of time for people, a bit of entertainment, but it's grown to so much more than that, and it's helping me deliver what I want to deliver with my working life. I want to create that space for people. I want to create that. I want to break down the stigma. I want to change, for men especially, what it's like to be a real man. Yes, like I said on Wednesday, yes, we need that. I don't want to take away all the masculinity of a man. Yes, we need to be strong, and yes, we need to be dominant, but we also need to be vulnerable too. We need to be able to speak. We need to break down these barriers of no, men aren't allowed to share their feelings. Just get on with it. Don't talk to anyone about it. Just deal with it and get on with it, and do what you got to do. But the facts say 6 men a day. 6 men a day aren't coping with that, with the old way, the way that a man is supposed to act. And I'm making it my life's mission to break that bullshit down, because it's just that. It's bullshit. We are losing too many great people because of an old stereotype.
Yeah, definitely.
We need to, and with help from awesome people like Michelle, we can do this. We can do it together. It starts with a little group like this. We go and spread the word to other men and other women that it's okay. It's okay to talk. Don't feel you're not a burden. You're not going to burden me with your problems. And I said it on Wednesday. I would much rather sit here and listen to your story than sit there and listen to your eulogy. So,
100 million %. 100 million %.
We'll let Jess go. I think she's dropped off there, but thank you so much, Jess, for coming on.
Thank you, Jess. Very proud of you, darling. Very proud. Very well.
Just a quick one before I leave too. I wanted to and maybe we can do like a positive psychology thing one day, because I use a lot of positive psychology, and I can't remember if I mentioned this. I mentioned it so many times in a week. I can't remember where I mentioned it. But just on a positive note, the emotion, the positive emotion that is the strongest predictor against suicide is gratitude. So if you can, it releases the most dopamine and serotonin, and it is the strongest emotion in terms of preventing suicide, which kind of makes sense, because if you're grateful for the things in your life, then you want to stay in your life, right? So practicing some form of gratitude every day and just getting into the habit of doing that, because it's really about creating habits, is a really good first step in trying to change that mindset for yourself. Gratitude journals, I know it sounds really cheesy, but it actually works. It actually releases some really nice happy chemicals, which is the ones that we want. So
that's it. And we've all got so many things in life that we should be grateful for. And you're right, Michelle, like the more things we can find to be grateful for, again, like you say, it just releases that dopamine and releases those feelings of, maybe there is something for me to hang around here. Maybe there is. Maybe I don't have to, as shitty as life feels right now, there's still something to cling on to. Whether it be friends, family, work, anything. There's got to be something in life that's worth living for and worth hanging around for. So couldn't agree more with you, Michelle.
There's a really cool app called Reflectly. Really weird name. Reflectly, L-Y. And actually a patient showed me, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I've downloaded it and I've recommended it to others. And what it does is it prompts you and it gets you to reflect every day at the end of the day. And that's a really good opportunity to do your gratefulness stuff, but it'll say, you know, how would you rate your day today? And it has faces, you know, sad faces all the way up to really happy faces. And so it kind of prompts you and makes you reflect and think back on your day and think about the positive things that happened in your day, and really gets you to just slow down that process of getting really reactive, which is, you know, what happens when we're not feeling well. You know, we get really reactive. So that's a really nice app to maybe you might want to have a look at. So,
I can't even say it. Can you write it in the comments and I'll put it up?
Yeah, well, okay, hold on. I'll put it here.
I'll put it up on our Facebook page.
There you go.
There it is. Check it out, guys. All right. Reflect. What's the report?
Reflectly.
Hey?
It's for reflection. But it's Ryan, what's the app called?
Shut up, Damien. Reflectly.
There we go. The boy got it. Well done.
It's hard. The weird name.
Michelle, before you go, I've actually got, I was talking to Ryan before, and I've actually got something that I want to read out. I got permission from my mother to read out something pretty hardcore about what she went through. So before you go, would you mind if you just
please. Absolutely. Yeah, please. Thanks.
All right, now bear with me, guys, because this one is obviously it hits home really hard. So just bear with me. If I disappear for a sec, you know why.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm the eldest out of me and my sister. But my mum has had another daughter, and she actually would be 40-year-old this year. Now she so my mum was traveling up the old Pacific Highway as a passenger in a car, and she was with her partner at the time, Robert, his name was. And this was on my mother's birthday, and they were involved in a head-on collision with a drunk driver. Now, unfortunately, Robert lost his life, and so did Marnie. That was the name of my mother's daughter.
Take your time. Take your time.
Just cut me out for a sec, Ryan.
Yeah, look, I knew this was going to be hard for him. I really did. You know, he really wants to get this off his chest, and he, like he says, he's got permission from his mother to share this story. It's very important to him, but again, I did say to him, just take your time, because it's it's going to be tough. I hope everyone listen. I'll just take a quick second to I hope you're all doing okay out there, guys. I hope this hasn't been too full on. But again, it needs to be said. This stuff needs to be talked about. So I hope you're all doing well out there. Just quickly while he's off, Michelle, look.
Yeah.
That's
I know. Thank you,
Michelle. Reflectly.
Well
I've said
done.
it again. So, guys, there it is. Write that down.
I also think from a positive perspective too, I know this is a really hard topic, but I bet you, if you really thought about it, for those that were fearful and were listening to this, and I know it can be triggering, but I know that for me, when you think about it, it kind of feels pretty good to be able to get it out and talk to like-minded people who understand. Yeah. And this is maybe for another time, but everyone here, myself included, have been through some trauma. So, we get it. We totally understand.
100%.
And I don't want to talk for everyone else, but I know for me, it's quite therapeutic to be talking about this stuff, even when it is heavy.
And they're the comments that I'm getting back, that it's, thank you so much for creating a space where I can come on and talk. Even if they don't come on here, the messages, just being able to give some the opportunity to just vent in any way, shape, or form. Here he is, a big fella. He's ready to go again.
All right. Sorry about that.
You're all right, mate. Take your time, buddy. All right, take your time.
Yeah. No, I'm good. So, as I said, Mum was in a head-on car crash. They were going up the Old Pacific Highway, and as we all know, it's a little bit. Anyway, so Robert, her partner, passed away, and so did Marnie, who was not even one. She was her birthday was the next day, and this all happened on my mum's birthday. Now, obviously, when Mum was in hospital, she went through a lot, as you can well imagine. So that all happened in June. February of that year, she lost her grandfather. And then October of that year as well, she lost a grandfather on the other side. So the family was dealing with a lot of shit, basically. And so her family was there for her, but they were also grieving and mourning as much as possible as well. And so she felt alone. She felt like she couldn't talk to anybody, and she felt like, as we were talking about, she felt to be the burden, yeah? Now, she told me a story about she had her car accident and her seatbelt snapped, and she went out of the car, face first through the windscreen, and she impacted onto a telegraph pole. Bang. Now, she broke a lot of bones in her body, and she was really, really messed up. And she was pronounced dead for 9 minutes.
Oh.
And, so God found it fit to bring her back. And she was told, so from the hip down, she was in a cast, and she was braced up and everything like that. She used to, when she was in hospital, she used to go down for what they called movie nights with a bloke that was in the next bed to her, who was dying of 2 types of cancer. So brain cancer and bowel cancer. And she used to go and hang out with him a lot. And the nurses were really cool to her. They helped her out and did a lot of things with her. And she was told that she would never have kids, that she was never able to have kids again. So she went back to my grandparents' place, and she did most of her recovery there. Now, one of the funny stories that comes out of this is that she hadn't told her parents. Now, she was 20-something years old, I think, maybe mid-20s, and she hadn't told her parents that she was a smoker. So she was laid up in bed for God knows how long without having to have a cigarette, and she was dying for one. So she called her mum in, and my mum was in tears, and my grandmother come in, and she goes, "What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?" And she goes, "Mum, everything's fine. I'm just dying for a cigarette. I really am." And she was scared to tell my grandfather. You know what Maltese grandparents are like, Ryan? Right? So, and my grandfather heard, and he come in and he said, what's wrong with Polly? What's wrong with her? And my grandmother said, "Oh, look, would you just go down the shop and get her a cigarette?" And my mum was like, no, don't tell him. "Oh, what did you do?" And he goes, "Cigarette? I'm going to the shop." And he straight down to the shops, bought her. So he said, "Smoke inside, do what you want. It doesn't matter. You can go for it." And yeah, my grandfather's 93 years old, and he's one of the best people I've ever met in my life. He is truly and honestly one of the best. So a few years go by, and then she goes to the doctor because she's told that she felt sick and she was crook. And the doctor said to her, "You're pregnant." And that was me, the miracle. And my mum turned around and told the doctor that he was full of shit and he's lying, and he shouldn't play with people's emotions that way because she was not able to have children. And he showed her the thing, and yeah, I was here. And then 4 years later, my sister came along as well. So yeah, that's it. That's all of it. But it's a little bit hard to go through and read, but I thought I had to get that out because I know. So dealing with depression and things like that, she said in hospital she dealt with it a lot because she didn't have anybody to talk to.
Yeah.
She couldn't talk to her family and she had to keep a lot of it bottled up and hidden inside. And that's why she's the strongest person I know. She really is. She truly is. The things that she's dealt with and she's gone through. So that's why she kept it inside and she dealt with it in a positive way as much as possible. And I told her that I do this every Friday night. And the words that came out of her mouth were, "I'm proud of you."
Aww.
So that really hit hard. That too, I was like, wow, where did that come from? But so look, if you're going through anything at all, if my mum can go through it and talk to strangers and get help where she needed it, even with everything that she went through, why can't we all? Why can't we all just talk to each other, give out your story, and someone can help you? I mean, we can't fix everything. We're not miracle workers, but we can definitely try and help. Be an ear to listen out, a shoulder to cry on, anything that you need. And it's just important. I just wanted people to know that even my mum's a trooper, and she really went through a whole hell of a lot of shit, and she came out on the other side of it clean as. So we can all do it together, and that's why I think this army is so important, because we're here to help us just as you're here to help us just as much as we are there to help you. So, yeah.
Brother, thank you so much for sharing that, mate.
Thank you for sharing that.
I know how hard that was for you, mate. We've been talking about that all week, and I knew that was going to be tough for you, but hey, you got through it, man. Cheers to you, brother.
You did well. Another person I'm proud of. It's like my children.
Oh, well, look,
I thought that might be a good tangent to get in there and get that going now, because if I had too much more to drink, I would have never been able to tell that story.
Good on you, mate. I know that, and again, getting that off your chest feels good, yeah?
Yeah.
Feels good. You're vulnerable. You showed vulnerability. And guess what? Sorry, Michelle. Put your hands between your legs for a sec. Okay, yeah. Damo, put your hands between your legs.
I don't need
to.
They're still there, aren't they?
Yeah. Still there.
They're still there. Didn't take away your masculinity, did it?
Nothing happened. Nothing happened except that it felt good. Exactly.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Guy, everyone out there listening, see that? Get that shit off your chest. Show that vulnerability. It won't take away your masculinity.
Masculinity.
It won't take away your manhood. It'll elevate it. All right? Simple as that. You know?
Absolutely.
So, wish I could talk enough than that. But yeah, anyway. Before I let you go, Michelle.
Yeah.
Any scores come through? What's the score in the footy?
Oh, I don't know. My husband hasn't been messaging me anything. Hold on, Lucas. Gregory, score.
22-12 against the Rabbitohs.
Oh, what? I don't know how to tell you the score.
Damn it. All right. Bloody Roosters. Oh, listen.
Bloody dirty birds. Dirty birdies.
Dirty birds. Oh, Gussie, if you're watching, we love the Roosters, mate. We love the Roosters if you're watching, Gussie.
No, we don't.
Michelle, thank you so much for your insight tonight.
No, thanks for having me. I feel really privileged, actually, and really honoured to have been invited to listen to the poetry and the lived experience. Thank you, because you guys don't really know me, so look, I feel really, really privileged. Thank you.
You're a resident psychologist, so
thank you very much.
You're a part of this army, so
Yeah, as Ryan said, thank you very much for coming on. It's always nice to sit here and talk to you. And
No, thank you.
you're part of the army as well. You're a high-ranking member as far as I'm concerned. So
No, it's always good. Anytime. I look forward to it actually. So
good. We'll definitely have you on again in the next. I think at least once a month. I think we're going to have you on at least once a month.
happy to do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Good luck with
Michelle.
everything at home, Damien. Congratulations. See ya.
See you, Michelle.
See you guys.
Well, that was good. We're not finished yet, but that was awesome. Let's just take a minute to pour another drink.
Yeah.
And thank Michelle again her footy team was playing tonight, and I know she's a massive Bunnies fan. So thank you so much for taking time out again. See, look how important it is to people, and I know that a lot of people look forward to having Michelle on. So again, it's all for you guys. And she, as she said, she loves coming on, and I think we'll endeavour to have at least once a month. We're going to have Michelle on, I think, just to touch base with her and talk about something. Again, whatever you guys want to about. Sorry, we couldn't get to so many of your questions there, but again, we had a lot that we had to cover tonight. We still didn't cover a lot of it. I've still got a lot here, so if you're willing and able, Damien and I are going to kick on and talk about a few things. I didn't get to do the conversation starters, which I really
do it now. Let's do this
now again, because it's very important. Like Michelle said, it's really to start that conversation with someone. A lot of people don't know how to start that conversation. Before I started doing these courses and things like that, and my suicide prevention training, I didn't know. I just thought, no, well, you just you don't say nothing. Just they'll come to you. But as the stats show, 8 people a day. No, we have to go to them. We've got to start these conversations with people. So look, there's a couple here. I'll read through them here. Below us, some suggested. This is all off Beyond Blue website. So again, these numbers going through the bottom here. A lot of them have got websites as well. Beyond Blue, Black Dog Institute, Lifeline. Check out all these websites for a lot of resources, guys, and all this stuff that I've been reading to you tonight. It's come from the Beyond Blue website. So, conversation starters. Simple. How are you? Be prepared for a fine. You've got to be prepared for a fine or good thanks. And follow up with, how are you really? Okay, because again, Damien, how you going?
Yeah, not bad.
How are you? And a lot of us just go, oh, sweet, he's cool. He said he's all right. All right, no worries. But we know better. Okay, and it's make sure you have that follow up of how are you really going. Now look,
it was
they might say something, they might not. You got to give it a pause. Okay, let them speak. It's not just you're not trying to. It's not like you're trying to pry things out of them. It's most of the time these people do want to speak. It's just they're not being asked the right questions. Okay, you ask once, Damo, how you going? Yeah, I'm all right. And then without a follow up question, you walk away, and Damo could go home and do something that we all regret. It's just that follow-up question. You know what I mean? You always got to have those follow-up questions.
I always find a good follow-up question if someone says, I'm all right. I always find a good follow-up question is, just all right? What's going on?
I'm the same, yep. So just okay? Exactly. Prod a bit more.
Yeah.
Those open questions.
Like more along the lines of, Ryan, how you going?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Just all right. What's wrong, mate? What's going on?
Oh, just not feeling the best. Just not feeling myself.
Tell me, mate. Come on, talk to me. What's wrong? What's happening?
And there you go. See, and we're into it. We're into that conversation then. He could have left it. He could have simply left it at, I'm all right. Oh, good. That's good. No worries. Sweet as. And then there's so much more in here that I wanted to get out. But the fact that he didn't probe it, well, I'm not going to burden him with, if he doesn't ask, then don't worry about it. It's all good. I'll just, I don't want to burden him with my problems, and he didn't ask. So.
You notice something too, and I wanted everybody to really see that, because you notice how when I asked Ryan how he is, the first thing that he did, he's still doing it. He's got his hand up to his mouth, bit of a look down, a bit of a thought, bit of a this, bit of a that. You have to read the body language that goes along with it. And a lot of people, you have to realize that if someone looks away or breaks eye contact, then they're thinking of something to say rather than a natural response.
100%. 100%. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just looking at the comments. Sorry. Keep going.
I know that I do it when I'm talking to you guys here, but I'm actually thinking of something to say, because I need to make sure I'm careful with what I say, because especially with this subject, it's a trigger warning, as we said earlier. So you have to be careful with what you say, especially with our audience, and we love you guys, so that's why I'm careful with what I say. But yeah, so you have to really watch. And look, hold on just a sec. Jason, Peter, and everybody else has said thank you and gave me props for sharing and stuff like that. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all, but you can breathe now, and it's a release, you know what I mean? And you never know. Maybe I've got another one that I want to share sometime soon, but I can't right now. So it'll be something for further on. But yeah, thank you all. But yeah, so body language is a big one too. Nice. So as Jessica Ann's put down there, the last comment. Oh, Pete, by the way, see you later if you're still.
See you, Pete. Thanks, mate. Thanks for watching, buddy. Appreciate it.
Everyone's got some things to do. It's probably going to watch the footy, to be honest. But as Jessica said, fidgeting, moving around, they're uneasy, they're moving and doing these ones and kind of doing these ones and stuff like that. That's not normal behavior. You don't do that in a normal conversation. So that's another warning, another sign. To see, you can see somebody isn't right. And or if they do these ones, I'm good.
Yeah. Eye contact is very important.
I mean, I believe if you're talking to someone, you look at them. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at all of you people tonight, and we're talking to each other. So it's a big thing. It's you have to watch out for body language. I think it's a big thing. Go on, Ryan.
I'm not 100% sure, but Jess has come back on. Jess, do you want to come and join us? Just the three of us? We'll have a little three-way talk. No?
Come on, Jess.
No, she's not. That's all right. No pressure. So well, then leading and getting back to these conversations. So just like you said then, to another lead up to are you okay and how you're really feeling. You don't seem yourself. Those sorts of things. That's another one. You don't seem yourself. Probing questions. That's what we need. This is what it's all about. It's about probing them. And again, not probing them to the point where they just go, just shut the fuck up, will you, and just leave me alone. Because it's just little subtle ones like that. You don't seem yourself. Letting your friend or loved one know that you've noticed something's different about them, and it shows that you care. It's not annoying them. It's just sort of, again, just letting them know that, listen, I've noticed that you're not doing too crash hot. You don't seem yourself lately. And that just, then they'll see, oh, you know what? they actually are paying attention. They can see that I'm not doing okay. So maybe I feel comfortable enough. If they're asking me this question, then clearly I feel comfortable enough to talk to them about this. Another one, so I'll just tick that one off. You can even start it off with yourself. You know, I've had a terrible week this week. How was yours? You know, these are all just little conversation starters. If you don't know how to get these conversations started, if you can sort of see within someone that they're just not doing too crash hot, you know, these are all just little conversation starters again, which you can find on. I really do think that we should all educate ourselves a bit more. That's a huge part of this, is the lack of education on all of our parts, is that we don't know enough. Again, that's why these stats are so high, because we as normal society don't really, we're not taught this stuff, which is bullshit. We need to be taught this stuff. You know, this is a way of helping. This is a way of getting this rate down, is by educating ourselves to be able to help others. You know, I mean, look, it's a huge factor of why I'm doing what I'm doing at TAFE, is because I want to help people, you know, and everyone here clearly who joins us every Friday night you want to help yourself and you want to help others. So, you know, I honestly think it starts with education. We all need to educate ourselves a bit more, just a little bit more. And then if you educate yourself a bit more, and then a bit more, and then a bit more. You know, that's one of the ways that we'll get these rates down, you know, and be able to get that, be able to feel comfortable having these conversations. Because, you know, I mean, again, Damien and I spoke at the start of this before we came on tonight, and we both said, you know, I said to him, I feel nervous about tonight. I haven't felt nervous in weeks about coming on, and tonight I felt nervous because this was a big one. This is a biggie, you know. Dealing with depression and dealing with anxiety, yes, that's big stuff, but, you know, suicide's a big thing, you know. And like I said, I've lost family members, I've lost friends, and it's tough. You know, I still sit here and think, if only I just done a little bit more, or maybe I could have spoken to them, or, you know, maybe I could have done a little more. Maybe if I could have educated myself of what to say to these people, or, you know. But again, like Michelle said, we can't save everybody, but, you know.
Come on, mate. Come on.
Yeah. Look, again, it's, you know, I really think that we need to educate ourselves more. That's what I'm getting to. That's, you know, and having the guts to be able to ask the questions, you know. Like I said before, you're not gonna, from what I've been taught, you're not gonna put the idea in someone's head. Okay, what you're gonna do is help them get over those thoughts, or you're gonna actually help them get something off your chest, like Damien and I do here every week. We help you guys get shit off your chest. Helps me get shit off my chest. Damien got shit off his chest tonight. Jessica got shit off. Both Jesses got shit off their chest tonight. Lockie last week. Jason last week. Anne-Marie. We need to start being more confident in being able to talk like this, talk vulnerably, you know, without that fear of being judged, or, you know. And I don't know, what if I say the wrong thing? Well, at least you tried. You know, I mean, when I think back to my family members, I mean, a lot of them passed away when I was very young, so there wasn't much I could do. But I have lost a few since I've been, you know, reasonably old. And I just sort of sit here and think, you know, if only I did this, if only I asked this question, or if I you know, picked up that phone. And, you know, again, because most people that they don't want to die, they just want the pain to go away. They want a bit of it, they want to be loved. They're sick of the pain. They just want the love back again. And a lot of people that isolate themselves, just they don't really want to be like that, but they feel as though there's nothing. I'm not worthy. No one's ringing me. No one will miss me. Why should I bother? So yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you a minute, mate. Just take a minute.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Look, yeah. As Jason's got up here, most of the time I feel when someone asks how I am, they're just asking to be polite and really don't care how I am, mate. You have to remember that the type of society that we're in today is all about people's time and how and what they've got to gain. I think a lot of it is. I mean, someone's not going to stop and ask how you are just to be polite. It doesn't work like that in this society anymore, not in this world. Because we all know, we're all old enough to realise this world can be pretty cruel, can be pretty harsh, and not a lot of people give a shit about other people, really. And I'm speaking truthfully now. It's true. Yeah, it's very hard to find someone who will give you the time of day without trying to benefit from it. Unfortunately, it's really, really, really bad, especially in this society. That's why I developed the skin that I've got, where I don't care what other people think about me. I talk and I say what I have to say. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but you can't. I'm not infallible, but I am. I'm not going to talk to you unless I know my facts, unless I know my truth. And a lot of the times I can't be proven wrong because I'm not. I know that sounds arrogant, but it's not. It's just I'm educated, and I've educated myself before I speak about something. Yeah, there are genuine people out there. I'm not going to say there's not, but there's a lot of bullshit that flies around too. And there's a lot of people that are going to sit there and ask you, are you all right? Are you this? Are you that? And as you said, Jace, they don't give a shit. It's true. And I know, and this is another trigger warning. I'll say it straight away because there are people that don't give a shit. And it's true. I don't know how else to put it, but there are people that do care, and those people are usually the ones that will take the time to be like, "Hey, mate, you all right? Everything good? What's up? Talk to me. Tell me. You want to go for a beer? You want to go for a coffee? Let's go. Let's go have a meal. Let's go do something." I mean, and Ryan knows this. I don't even have to say it, but my door is open for anybody. And Jace, you know this too. What am I doing every time you message me? What am I doing? I'm in the kitchen, mate. I'm cooking, and I make enough for. I'll have the whole army around in my house. We'll have a big cook up because I believe the best way to sit down and have a chat with family is over a meal. At the family table, mate, because it really, really makes a difference. The way to somebody's heart is with food, and that really makes a difference in my eyes. And you have to really, really show people that you want to care, but you can't be too invasive, right? Like. You have a look at our general at the moment. We can all tell that he's struggling and he's suffering, right? But I know why he's struggling and suffering. It's hard for him to talk about, and you see the signs. I'm using you as an example, mate, but because everybody can see you, but you can see the signs. Have a look at him. Every time he gets nervous, he touches his cross. He's looking for solace, for something to hold on to, something to grasp, something to make him feel protected. You can tell because he's gone quiet. These are the warnings we're looking for, people, right? fidgeting, moving around, not quite concentrating. It's for you people, for you guys to see. You can see it happening. I mean, we all know Ryan's not going nowhere. He's happy. He's healthy. I check on him constantly. But these are the things you have to see for a random Joe Blow or someone that you care about at work or even a friend of yours. If you see things like this coming up and you see things like this happening, go and ask the question, because you're not a burden. You're not going to put the idea in their head. You're not going to be someone who's going to annoy them. And if you do, even if you do annoy them, so annoy them. Annoy them. Find out what's happening. Find out what's going on. Maybe they need someone to annoy them just so they can have a chat. I mean, I know when I was going through high school, I felt alone. I felt like I had no one. And that feeling of having no one and being alone, I still go through it myself. If I'm, say, for example, I'm at home on my own, Amy's out somewhere doing something, and she knows this, so I can speak about it freely. But if she's out doing something or I'm at home on my own, I sit there and I've got a million things I could be doing. I got my computer, I got my games, I got my telly, I got my models, I'll go for a walk if I wanted to. But all I do when I get in that feeling, that headspace, is I'll sit at home. No TV, sit on the lounge, no phone, nothing. And you feel trapped. And you start to think to yourself, oh, I might message Ryan. No, I'm not going to bother him. I might go on Facebook. Nah, there's no point. No one's on there that wants to talk to me. And these are the type of things that you have to really kind of look for in people and these triggers and these warnings. So that is what these conversation starters will do. And there's a big thing that I believe in. You will never have kindness more than you get from a stranger. Truthfully, think about it.
Yeah.
So a stranger doesn't know you. Stranger doesn't have anything to gain from you. And that you can't.
Did we freeze?
No, we're reading this.
No, I didn't freeze, Michelle. I'm reading.
I looked up and I'm like, you weren't even moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's go on, mate. Yeah, I think you need to talk now.
Yeah, look, Jess, that's, I know exactly how you feel, Jess, about, not wanting to seek professional help. I've seen many professional, I'm going to do this, professionals, and, nearly every single one of them made me feel worse. They just, they're few and far between good ones. Like we're so happy, we're so glad that we found an awesome one in Michelle, and she's fantastic. But ones like Michelle are few and far between, unfortunately. And yeah, they don't understand that it can mean the difference of continually seeking that help or just bugger it. And I was one of those that just said, bugger it, I'm out. None of these can help me. None of these people can help me. They don't understand me. I feel like I'm being judged. I'm out. Don't worry about it. I'll just deal with it on my own. And I have said it before that that I have in the past I have been in this place where I've wanted to leave. I have attempted once, and like I said, I'm just so glad that person found me when they did, because any longer I probably wouldn't be here. And they stopped me, And and I was in that such a deep, dark place that I was the same. I just thought, no, the world's better off without me. There's no point in me being here. I'm just a burden on everyone. I'm a burden on my family. I'm a burden on my friends. I'm just, I'm just nothing. I'm not worth anyone fighting for. And I gave up basically on life, but more importantly, I gave up on myself. And I look back at that now, and I think I get very angry at myself for even going there to that place. But in the moment, in the time, I just thought it was the only solution. This is very hard for me to say with my wife sitting right next to me, but I'm saying it anyway, because it happened a long time ago, and well before I even met her. So, and to look back at that now and to think about all the things that I would have missed out along the way, I sort of get angry at myself for even contemplating. Well, it was more than a contemplation. I was, I don't want to talk about that, but it was happening. I was almost not here. So to look back at that now and think that could have been it for me. Again, like I say every week, it was a temporary feeling that I had for a long time. That was just building and building and building, and it was just I felt like there was no other solution but to do that, to end it. And again, I didn't really want to go. I just wanted the pain to stop. I wanted to stop feeling the way I was feeling, and I just wanted anyone to reach out, and at that time, there wasn't anyone. So that's what made me think, what's the point? There's no point. There's no one cares enough. But I look back at it now, and I know that there were so many people. I was just blind to it. My depression and my anxiety and my self-loathing was just drowning me from the truth. That there were so many people out there that loved me and cared for me, but I was just so in depth into my in my own self-loathing that I just thought this was it. There's no other solution but to do this. And I just thank my lucky stars that person saved me, and he was there. He's no longer with us. It was my dad. So I've still got that regret to this day that he was the one who found me. I never forgave myself for that, because it wasn't long after that he passed away. We had a year or so, maybe a year and a half, 2 years max. But to leave him with that thought, and that's another thing that we've got to think about too when we contemplate these things. What we're doing to the people that we leave behind. It's all well and good to want to take your life away. You want your pain to end, but we've got to realize that when your pain stops, it stops for you. It doesn't stop, it stops for you, and it gets passed on to others, and they're left with the burden of it. You
all right, buddy?
Yeah, all good.
So look, what I think Ryan's trying to say along the lines here, because I'm going to take over for a minute because he needs me to. Look, first off, I'm going to say, and I know this is going to be hard for you to hear, mate, but thank God that your dad found you, and thank God that you're here, because you've
Can I
helped.
just, can I just quickly say, so I know Mum's watching. I'm so sorry, Mum, that you have to hear this. I'm all good now. I'm in a much better place now, but I'm just so sorry that you got to hear this, Mum. So anyway, go on, Dan.
Well, you're right, mate. You're right. Your mum's a trooper, and we all love her, really do. But yeah, thank God that he found you, mate, and thank God that you're here with us, because you have changed so many people's lives. With anybody that knows you personally and has met you knows, mate, knows what I'm about to say is the truth. You really are a shining star in a world that can be a very dark place at sometimes. And this is what we're here to talk about. We talk about the darkness. It's not a happy thing at all. Sometimes there's a shining light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, one thing I heard through the week, out of all my research and everything that I've been looking at and doing things like preparing for tonight, because as we all said, tonight's a big clusterfuck, and we knew it was going to be one of these. But everything that comes into the world is made to eventually break down. And only us, as the main, I guess the main supportive nature of this planet, is to try and fix it. Because you have a look, and I've been doing it a lot lately, you have a look at all these little babies that are in the NICU units, and you think to yourself, these little ones have had such a hard time coming into the world, and they're here, and they're struggling, and they're fighting, and they're trying to get into a world, and they're all, you should see them. There are so many of them, little ones, and they're all struggling, they're all perfect and everything like that, but you should see them. There's just so I've got to give a shout out to the people that work in those units, because I don't know how they do that job. They are really, really, really strong people. But you come out, you're born, and everything with you is you are just a little trooper at the moment. And you go through life and things start to break down. Your mind starts to break down. Your heart starts to break down. You start to learn how hard this world can be. And luckily there's people like you, mate, and people like everybody here, that you're the ones who try and fix it. You're the ones who try and fix the things that are breaking down with us. I think the term life mechanic would suit you very, very well, because you do your very best to try and fix other people's lives, and you really make a difference to everybody, mate. So thank God that you're here, because I'd be fucked without you, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be able to do what I do, or do this, or do anything without you. You truly are a patriot, mate. So
Thanks,
thank
buddy.
you.
And look, I just want to say to everyone, you know, that was tough to share that story, but I just wanted to reassure everyone that I'm, you know, that was in another life. I've got so much. I've moved on from that. I have, I've really turned my life around, and I still struggle day to day. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not anywhere near that person that I was. So I am. You don't have to worry about me. I promise. I'm in a much better place. And it's a lot of being here every Friday night is helping. Helping me become a better person. The things I'm doing at TAFE, helping me become a better person. The people that I meet, the people that I hear from, people that I've met since that day have made me become a better person. And that's just another thing that I just want to keep, sharing with people, that, life is just full of surprises, you know what I mean? And there's ups and downs. It's a roller coaster, you know. But you know, if we make those permanent decisions for those temporary feelings, we never get to live to our potential, you know, and we'll never get to see, you know, if that had happened, I would have never got married. I would have never got to see my kids, you know. I would have never had kids. I would have never, you know, met the fantastic people that I've met in my life, you know. So I just like this bloke, you know, wouldn't have worked at Masters, you know. Imagine that. Imagine not being able to work. You know, there's 3 places that I've worked that no longer exist anymore. Masters, you know,
You're about
for me that I run places into the ground or whatever. But you know, Masters. Who remembers Shop Fast? Does anyone ever remember that name, Shop Fast? Nope. I worked there. They're gone. So yeah, you know. But yeah, again, just from having those simple conversations, guys. And even if it's you that were in my shoes back then, you know, you've got to understand that they're just temporary feelings, and you know, by doing that, yes, all I want is the pain. All I wanted was that pain to just fuck off. Really, I didn't want it anymore. I didn't want the burden of my life anymore. Now, I thought life was a burden, you know, and it's just not. You know, it really isn't. You know, and all we really need is to just get, instead of, I said it in episode 1, you know, all that shit leaving it build up inside, it's just going to explode. It's that pressure valve. You know, I needed to release that pressure valve, and I just didn't get the opportunity. And I almost made the ultimate sacrifice, you know, and for what? You know, and for what? Seriously, and for what? Yeah, and all I needed to do was just get some shit off my chest, and you know,
that's what we're here for, mate. That's what we're here for right now.
The main reason why I started this thing was for that. Was the thought from back then, I don't want people to have to go through that alone. I need to start something for everybody else. And me, I'll be selfish and admit it. This was for me at the start. I created this for me as well, but it's gone beyond me now. And you know, I sit here and I meditate every Friday night before I come on, and I ask for guidance. I ask for help, and I ask for my Savior to take away my ego, because this is not about me. You know, there are people out there that need this. You know, this is not about me at all. This is about every single person who chooses to watch these videos, whether it be tonight, whether it be for the next week, for the next month. This is for you. This is your opportunity to get on and see that you're not alone here. You know, the feelings that you're feeling right now, you're not alone with them. We all feel these things. And yes, your feelings are valid. They mean something. You know, and the pressures you feel are valid, you know, but there's no need to make those permanent decisions, man, because you keep seeing these numbers that are flying across the bottom here. There is help. There are forums like this. There are people like Damien and I, and every single person. We've got 100, and our army is 174 people strong at the moment. I want that to grow. I want it over 200. I want it over 300. I want it over 1,000 eventually. I want to get it over. I want to get this page out to as many possible people as we possibly can. I want this army to grow. Every week it is growing, but I want it to start growing faster, because we need, like I said to Damien before we came on tonight, we could save a life tonight, you know. And whether it not be tonight, whether it be in a couple of days' time when someone stumbles across this video, I want every single one of you tonight watching this, or tomorrow or the next day, to share this on your page. Get this video out to as many people as we can. We need this to reach out the wider community, not just our little army here. We need to create the bigger army. We need a full-on massive army here. We need to start getting this message out to beyond here. And we, you know, what it takes to be a man or a woman in today's society is so different to what it was back in the day. You know, we are all different now. You know, things are different. It's okay for men to talk about their feelings. It's okay for women to talk about their feelings. We already know that, and they already do. Some don't, some do. But I'm hitting the men up right now. The men that are watching this, the men that will watch this video. Guys, it's fucking okay to not be okay. It's okay to be vulnerable.
Yep.
Damien tonight poured his fucking soul out. And then I told him to grab his nuts. They were still there. They were still there. Did not make him any less of a man. But what it did do was relieve pressure off his chest, out of here. It relieved him. It got a problem. He shared the problem. His problem was halved. So I urge every single one of you people that are watching this tonight, I want you to share this video with as many people as you can. I want you to invite everyone on your own personal page to come and follow us, follow this army. You know, we need to start spreading this word. We need to get this out as much as we possibly can. We've got the YouTube channel now. There are things coming up in the pipeline that we're working on to try and make this bigger. You know, we are trying. I'm not going to stop until this is just out as far as wide as possible. You know, so this is my life mission now. I am making this my life mission to save as many people as I possibly can, to help people understand that it's okay to be vulnerable and without judgment. Jesus, I talked a lot then. Fuck, I need a drink. But I mean it. I want that hashtag Talkhead Army. I want to see it everywhere, and then that will make me know that everyone's sharing this, and the more people we reach, the more lives we're going to save, the more lives we're going to enrich, the more people we're going to, untap the vulnerability, release the vulnerability. Society we live in today, it's not good enough. It's just not good enough. We need to make it better, and we have an opportunity right now, right here, this year, 2020. We've got an opportunity. Right? We can change the past and make a different future. So I urge you all again, share this page, share these videos with every single person you know. You don't know who it could be one. You might have 400 friends. You share it out with all those 400 friends. There may be one person on your page that could be scrolling through and look at these videos and go, holy fuck, this is it. This is what I've been looking for. This is what I've been searching for. You could save that one person.
Yep.
You know? I bug the shit out of you every week. We share so many things. We share this, we share that, just for the hope that it's going to reach that one person that needs it. Now I'm calling on my army to share this shit out of this page. We need to get this message out as far and wide as we can across this country, across the ditch, across all the oceans. We need to get this message out that it's okay. You're not alone. You're not struggling alone. And that we're creating this place for all of you to come here and talk. Get the shit off your chest. So please share the absolute shit out of this page with everyone you know. We need to build this army for the sake of ourselves, for the sake of humanity. We need to build this. Talk, Damo. I can't talk no more.
So you see, now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm about ready to pick up my sword I got back here and go into battle for that. That was that's really inspirational. And so, look, guys, you've got your marching orders from the general. Let's do this, eh? This is seriously an important thing, because what is it, Ryan? 8 people?
8 people a day, every day.
So you do the math. You do the math.
I told you. Even
It's crazy, right? So what we need to do, as Ryan said, and I'm just going to reiterate because how can you follow that? I mean, seriously,
Sorry.
you kind of stumped me there, buddy. Good on you. We really need to fight for this, and I've got people on board. And as Ryan said, there's things in the pipeline. Like, I mean, look, I'm not gonna, I won't shit any of you, right? Truly, we're this thing is gonna go from being on this format to one day, eventually, we're all going to be standing in the same room having this fucking conversation. And I'm telling you, it will happen.
And we're working on that.
Come hell or high water, we are going to be standing in front of all of you, and I hope all of you, and we are going to be having this conversation again, face to face, and we're going to have our drinks, and we're going to have some food, and we're going to talk about things. We're going to laugh. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. We're going to talk about what we need to talk about, and it is going to be a constant thing that will happen. We will make this happen. We've got ideas coming up. We've got a website coming up. We've got the get-togethers coming up. We're looking at another 3 or 4 platforms where we can spread this. So I want this to go like AIDS in the 80s. Just everybody. Everybody. It's got to become like a sexually transmitted disease and just get passed around because we need it. We need it.
I'm telling you, look, my dream is I want to start my own organisation. That is what I'm working towards. Okay, guys, I'll be honest, that's what I'm working towards. I want to start my own organisation, but it takes steps to get there, you know, and all of you can help us. Every single one of you can help us get there. We just need to start getting this word out. We need to start spreading the word of it's okay to not be okay, you know. And, you know, we're trying, we're working on things, you know what I mean? But we need your help. We need every single one of you on board with this. For this to work, we need every single one of you. And we need not only to help us, we need you to help yourself. And that's the whole point of this, is to be able to empower people to understand that there's a better life out there for every one of us, and that we deserve. You know what I mean? We don't have to suffer in silence anymore. The times of us, you know, being held down by the stigma, they're fucking over. They're finished. Those stigma days are done.
Smash that stigma. MJ said it before. Hashtag smash that stigma. Because you know what? In the end, look, fuck that. Seriously, fuck that. I'm not going to have people that I care about sitting around thinking that they're not worth anything. And unfortunately for the rest of you, I care about all of you now. So you can't sit there and give me this bullshit anymore. We have to get rid of that stigma. We have to make sure that the world knows, because we're here to take over. Yeah. Right? Like my mate Conor McGregor said, right? This is his drink. He made this stuff. We're here to take over. We're not sitting here. I'm not going to fight a losing battle. We've got this. This army, as I said to Ryan earlier, I made a bit of a communist joke, and it was like, this is going to be like China back in the day. We are taking over.
We are.
Because I'm not. I am not. I refuse. As a 33-year-old man, I refuse to lose any more of my loved ones.
Yep.
Due to suicide, depression, anxiety. No way. No. I'm sick of it. And I'm sick and tired of bright, intelligent, wonderful fucking people to just who sit there and think that their world is looking after them. They are not worth anything. Some of the most brilliant minds, like you heard Jessica tonight. I'll endorse it. All right, she should write a book. But I mean, seriously, people like that. Superman the other week, like I still got chills. You can't see him, mate, but goosebumps. I'm telling you. I just think about that kid, and I'm like, what the fuck? And you have, like, I know so many people, so many wonderful minds that just need to be brought out of the darkness, as it was said before, brought out of the darkness, brought into the light, and shown to have their moment, have their talk, have their say. So many of us are complex, intelligent creatures. Like, I mean, any of you, I recommend any of you to get online, have a talk to Anne-Marie, have a talk to Jessica Ann. Fuck it, anybody on there. From what I can tell, MJ. I'm just going through them now. I'm trying to remember names because I've got the worst memory in my life. But you sit there and talk to any of them. You talk to Jace, for example. You talk. I'm sure if we could ever get Peter to come on, that'd be a fucking hoot. I tell you what.
We'll get him on one day. Trust me, we'll get him on.
I mean, I want to talk to Lisa. I'd love to, Lisa. If you're still there, darling, we'll go for coffee or something. Fuck, like, let's just go and we need to do something where we can all get together, and these people, these certain people, just are there. They're shining stars. It's like a matte black sky with all these little dots of brilliance portrayed over it, and the average day-to-day person ignores the brilliance that's there. It's like walking by a beautiful piece of art and going, yeah, that's not too bad. Open your fucking eyes. It's more than not too bad. You have to like, it's not so much as looking with these, it's thinking with this. God gave it to you for a reason.
And feeling with this. Feeling with that.
Feel with this. Like, I mean, me and Ryan, we're the type of people that I wear this thing right fucking here with the rest of the shit. I wear it here, and I'll say what I think, and I know that my words are out there to help people. And if you don't like me because I'm the person that I am, you can truly go fuck yourself, because I don't care what you think. I know that I am here to make sure, and this page is proving it, I am here to help people. I was born to help people. And this mug over here is the one that's proved it to me. I know.
If I can prove it to him, and I'm sure I've proved it to all of you, that you can be the change. You know what I mean? You can be the change that you could save someone's life, guys. You could be responsible. You're the one who could be responsible for saving a life by simply asking a question, by simply using this, talking from this, talking from your heart, you know, and letting go of those barriers of thinking, no, oh, I shouldn't do this or I shouldn't do that. No, well, fuck that. Because by not doing anything, guys, we're losing 8 people a day.
Yeah. Like, we'll sit here and we will sit here and talk about not pushing someone too much, not probing too much, not being careful in what you have to say to somebody, being careful in what you say because you might trigger them. Yes, that's all fine and dandy. But in ourselves, and I know there's a lot of people here with a lot of problems. That's why we're here. I've got them too, right? Mm-hmm. And I showed you tonight. You will probably never ever see that side from me again. But you've seen it tonight, opened up to you, just to show you that there's a bit of humanity behind this whole hardcore steel bitch thing that I've got going on, right? But look, you have to sometimes, and I know this is not really. It's a little bit of a stigma, but it's not really. You have to kind of sometimes be a little bit rough with people, I think. Because, like, I know when Ryan was going through a few things, I was a little bit rough with him. And I grabbed him by the scruff of the neck and I pulled him out of whatever shit he was drowning in. And I said to him, mate, listen, just fucking wake up to yourself. Like, really, come on. You've got this. This is all going for you. You have to see it. And I'm here to show it to you. You can't argue with hardcore facts. You can't argue with truth. You can't argue with realism. And you have to be real with yourself, guys. You have to be real. Everybody is brilliant. Everybody has got an opinion. Everybody is just wonderful. Like there's things that I can offer to you that no one else can offer. There's things that he'll offer that no one else can offer. And you have to see your worth in the world. And as Anne-Marie said, the waves of change are here. We are finally here, and we are coming for you. The army starts, mate. I'm telling you, I didn't just come up with a smart slogan because, oh, yeah, the army. Okay, that's what we'll call it. I truly and honestly believe that we can march on we can march on the thoughts of depression and anxiety and suicidal tendencies and self-harming and all this other fucking crap that is dealing the disease of the world, and we can march on it and we can kill it and we can stomp it out, and we will wave our banners proud and say, fuck this. I am no longer going to be a victim of my own mind. I am not going to be a victim of somebody else telling me that I'm not worth anything. I'm no longer going to be a victim of thinking that I don't belong, because you do belong. You belong here. You belong side by side with me, with him, with everybody else. We deserve to be here. We deserve to have our say. And if you think anything other than you are 100%, talk to me. Talk to Ryan.
Can I say this what Jess wrote? You don't have to be positive or feel happy all the time, you know, and that's okay, you know. And you don't, you know, there are going to be days where you don't want to get out of bed. That's all right. That's okay. That's acceptable. As long as you know that it is acceptable, there's nothing wrong with it. All these mental health conditions, they're nothing to be ashamed of. No. Okay, they're absolutely nothing to be ashamed of, and that's what we're trying to say here. That it's, you know, enough of the stigma of, oh, you're just an attention seeker. Just get over yourself. Will you? Stop doing that. You know, there's nothing wrong with you. Fuck that shit. You know what I mean? That's simple as that. Fuck that shit.
You know what my response would be, right? If say it again, Ryan. Go ahead.
There's nothing wrong with you, mate. Stop being such a fucking, you know, you're just an attention seeker, mate. Get over yourself.
What my response to that is? Go fuck yourself. How about that?
Yeah, well, that's it, mate. You know, and it's again, that's what we're promoting here. We're promoting that self-worth, that, you know, it's okay to not be okay. You know, to deal with these. I'm not going to say suffer, because that's a shit terminology. To deal with mental illness is it's a tough thing to do. All right. And I'll take my hat off to every single one of you. I'm one of them. It's why we created this army, because we're not, and stop. Let's all stop saying sufferers, because fuck that word sucks. I hate it so much. We're not sufferers. We deal with this shit. We live with this shit. You know what I mean? And we still get up every day. You know, we all have trouble. Sometimes we don't want to get up. We still fucking do, and we get on with it, and we do what we got to do. We go out there every day. We face the stigma. We face the discrimination. We face the judgment, but we still get on with it, and we do it. But what we're trying to promote here is breaking down that shit. And these videos have to reach not only the people here that understand it, but these videos need to reach those other people that don't understand it. They're the ones that I'm really speaking to. All right, because I know you guys get it. I know that, and I don't worry about you, because I know you're going to be okay. But what it is, it's the people out there that don't understand this shit, the people that are first to judge, the first to say, oh, you just, you know, get on with it, you know, stop being it. I've even heard of people say, why don't you go kill yourself? Well, what do you fucking think that's going to, you know, what is that going to accomplish, telling someone that? You know what I mean? Yeah. This is what we've got to do. We've got to break this shit down. These videos need to reach these people and they need to start understanding what their words are doing to people. You know what I mean? Like, I can see my daughter's not on now, so I can talk about her. she's getting, she's getting picked on at school, and people are saying shit like that to her. You know what I mean? You're attention seeking. Your depression isn't real. Well, look, I'm sorry, but this is, you don't understand what your words can do to people. You know what I mean? You've got no idea. And again, that's why we're trying to break down that stigma. If people actually understood what it's like, because that's the thing about mental illness. When you've got a broken arm, or you've got some sort of illness that you can see it. Right? Broken arm, you can see it. You're in a sling, it's got a cast on. Right? You got a broken leg, you got a cast, you can see that. You got a real bad rash, you can see it. You got a cough, you can hear it. All those visual things you can see. Mental illness is invisible. That's why people don't understand it. Oh, I can't see it. You just put it on. That's just bullshit. No. You're just carrying on. Just get on with it. And you know what? The other one that pisses me off. Oh, we all deal with things. We all got shit to deal with. Well, then fuck. If we've got shit to deal with, then why are you speaking like that for?
Yeah, exactly.
You know that. So why judge me? You know what I mean? And again, the whole reason for this thing is to break down that shit. No judgment here, guys. We know this. Why, again, saying it again, I want this page spread far and wide. Every single one of you who are going to watch this video, I want you to share this. I want you to share not only these videos, but I want you to share this page. I want you to invite people to come and follow this page so that we can get this message out to as many people as we can every single week about breaking this fucking stigma down and this discrimination down. We can do this together, guys. It's as simple as that. We can do this together. We need your help. This is a call to arms. Again, this is a call to arms. I'm calling all my soldiers to stand up and send this page out as far as you possibly can. Invite everyone, because there could be some asshole out there that needs to see these videos, and he or she could watch them and go, oh, you know what? I have been treating that person a bit like crap. Maybe I should stop because I didn't understand what it was actually doing to them. You know what I mean? That's the person we need to get to. That person.
We need to be.
Yes, we need to help the people that are in 100%.
We need to be. No, you're right. You froze a bit. I thought you were done. But
all right.
We need to be. You know what? And I'm going to use this a bit of a visual for you guys at the moment. Now, I was asked about this thing by Anne-Marie, I believe it was a couple of weeks ago. We need to be the sword to help the people that can't or won't help themselves. We need to be the army that will walk behind and help the people who can't help themselves. Right? We need to be this. We need to be this. This is a symbol for our army. We need to make sure that we stand behind people and we help them. As Anne-Marie, there we go. Look, build me up and don't knock me down. Build people up. What harm is going to come from taking somebody who feels like they're worthless, who feels like they're not worth it, who has no self-esteem, no confidence, suffers from anxiety, and just piece by piece, building them up to be a strong, confident person? Only a benefit is going to come from that. It's not going to affect your life. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to do anything. It is going to make you a better person, if anything. And you build up somebody, and you build them up, and you build them up, and you build them up. And look, Jess, exactly right. You're 100%, mate. 100%. My story of struggling may be your savior, or number 6 out of the 8 people tomorrow that might decide to take their life. And as Ryan says a million times over, I'd rather sit here and listen to your story than listen to your eulogy tomorrow.
That's it.
And we need enough. You know what? Enough of this fucking crap of where you think, or where people think that they're better than somebody else. You ain't better than somebody else. What? Just because you drive a better car than me, you live in a bigger house than me. There's a band out there called Zac Brown Band. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of them. They're pretty big. And they've got a line in one of their songs as you've got to take, basically telling you, you've got to take solace in the small things. You got to take life and appreciate the little things in life. That's why, personally, I love to cook, because I know that if I put a meal in front of your face and the first thing that you do when you eat is like, oh, man, then I know I've made your day just that little bit better. And I know that if you sit there and you sit down with me and we have a one-on-one for about half an hour, I will make you feel like you are worth $1 million when you walk out of this place. I will make you feel, no matter what you're going through. Now, you've all seen that I can sit here and talk your ears off and listen to me, don't listen to me. It's up to you in the end. But tell me I'm wrong.
Look, again, that's it. And it's just about giving each other confidence too, giving each other that confidence that it's, look, I honestly think I've said everything that I can say tonight. I can't say any more than what I've already said tonight. I'm a bit dry now. I've given you everything that I've got. I've gotten everything off my chest, and I hope that you guys have had a chance to get things off your chest. Thank you so much for all the comments. Again, remember that call to arms. I want this page to reach as many people as possible for our own sense of safety, for our own sense of, non-judgment. We need to get it out. We need to break the stigma down. We need to break the judgment that's out there. We need to break it down. And the only way I can think of right now is by talking to each other, letting each other know that it's okay, sharing things like this with as many people as we possibly can. And, and that's a start. That's how we're going to start. As we've said, we've got so many ideas of what we can do to make this bigger, and we're going to do it. With your help, we'll continue to do this. But what we need to do, we need to build this army. We need it bigger. We need to make it big. We need to make people take notice of what we're doing here. Okay, and that's with every organisation. With this organisation, again, I've been telling you about this organisation, what they do. You know what I mean? I want you to really get behind this organisation. They are fantastic. There are so many great organisations out there like that. You know what I mean? They're all about breaking down the stigma and breaking down the fact of what real men and real women should be. And fuck that. We're heading towards a new future, guys. And it all starts with people like us, all of us. That's it. It starts with us, and it will end with us. It'll end with us spreading the word. So, all right, guys, listen, we've talked your head off tonight. Again, please share the absolute shit out of this video, because this video needs to go as far and wide as possible. I hate saying the word viral, but if we can get this video out as far as we can, so that people can understand what we're doing here, what we're trying to create here, that it's okay to not be okay. The fact that you need to ask people, you need to let people get shit off their chest to make them feel better. That's what we're all about. Without the judgment, without the stigma, without the discrimination. So,
I was just thinking, actually, before we go, this is 2020, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what 2020 is? 2020 is, if I'm not mistaken, 2020 is clear vision.
2020, look at you. It is. This is the year that we can change shit.
2020 will be the year of a clear vision for a future that I want for my daughter, that we want for our children, that
Amen.
Ryan wants for his grandchildren.
Amen. Not that old. Sit down. Fuck. But yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, right? Like,
That's 100%. That's it. I want exactly. That's, you know.
So let's have a clear vision of what we want to start in the year of clear visions. And this is going to be the year of the clear vision to break down the stigma, to knock away the bullshit, to wipe it up, and let's say, hey, if you've got a problem, if you have something you need to get off your chest, if you need someone to talk to, then come and talk it out to the Talkhead Army, because we will be here. We will march, and we will be on that field, ready to fight for you, ready to fight for anybody that needs us. Because you know what? Fuck the stigma. That's what I think. Fuck the stigma.
Fuck it. All right. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much. We love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers to every single one of you out there that are going to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you're going to pass this on to every single person you know. Again, the message that was in this video tonight you could just save someone's life. This could be just the thing that they needed to watch. You could be the person that they just needed to hear from. Reach out. Keep reaching out to people, okay? Keep being honest with people and honest with yourself. If you are struggling, guys, these numbers down the bottom, let's not become another statistic, okay? I hope I got that word out right. Probably didn't. But, you know, we need to get that number of 8 down to 0. We got a long way to go. But I honestly believe together we can do it. All right. And it all starts, guys, as simple as this, it all starts one fucking conversation. Yep. All it's going to take, pick up the phone, reach out to someone. Just one conversation could save someone's life. Think about that.
So I just had a bit of an idea. I'm going to, we've already started it kind of. So Jessica, Anne, and Jason are part of it at the moment. We've got a Facebook Messenger group going. And I'm going to say, Jess and Jace, you guys start adding people to this group.
Let's add Anne-Marie. I want to add Mary Ann. Anyone, if you guys want to be involved, let us know.
We'll start getting people together, and that way we've got an instant forum for as soon as you start to feel like you need something, we're on it. And bang, we've got the receptionist, we've got Jace, we've got General, we've got fucking everybody on there ready to go 24 hours a day. And if you feel like you need to talk, call the group. Call us. We'll talk. I'll answer the phone. We'll have a conversation.
We can do video calls. We can do video chats. Whatever you feel like doing. You know?
Mate, we'll do it, right? So just remember. So we've got a few new things that we've got going tonight that have come out just of tonight. First off, hashtag smash the stigma, because fuck that shit, right? Then we've got, well, again, you could say hashtag fuck that stigma, because that's not going to exist in this year. I'm telling you, we're going to get rid of it. And then you've got, just simply put, guys, if you want and you want to make a real impact, let's just do simply hashtag 2020, because we will know what that means and we'll know how important that is. And when somebody asks you, what do you mean by hashtag 2020? You guys have got free reign to open up and explain about it. And you can tell them the great work that this fella over here is doing with this page.
And this one.
Yeah, but I'm just here to talk. I'm just like the blunt end of the stick where you're the pointy end. So it's all right. But, yeah, so, look, as Ryan said, because we've got to get out of here. Fuck, we've almost done 3 hours worth tonight. But so, look, from me to use,
Love you all. Remember, let's spread the shit out of this page, guys. Let's spread it hard. Let's get it out there. Don't forget all those hashtags. Thank you so much for watching. Again, thank you so much to Jessica. Thank you so much to Michelle. Thank you so much to the Jessica, 2 Jesses. Thank you all so much for watching. And as we say every week, can't rain all the time. Love ya. Be good.
All good at it.